Hi, it's me, Swiss Cinnabar. So, before I start this video, I just want to get a few things out of the way, like disclaimers. First, please don't go after anybody in this video, as well as anybody else that has been previously associated with dramas like this. This is an independent thing that I'm going on myself, so once again. And even Altscen himself, don't go, harassing him. Going to the point of the video now, basically, Altscen sexually and non-sexually harassed me over Discord ever since I have the app. So he said he didn't know my real age, but as you can tell by my voice, which was even higher a few months ago.
And is this video idea list tough?
I'll be looking.
When he did that stuff, I'm not 15. He also claimed I was. He claimed I was 15, but I'm not. I'm 13. As we can see, 6/26/2025, he said, "Wait, Swiss, are you 12 or 13? Meaning he knew this stuff, and many of these screenshots are still from later dates or dates around that when he said this stuff. Meaning he knew my actual age and still kept doing those things. Here are also some screenshots confirming that Altscen is 15 and is now even 16. By the way, the Chinese name is Altscen because that was his profile at the time. And before I get to the harassment parts, I also want to tie up some other stuff, like a long-winded situation in the community, the end of Map Collective. Even if this was a while ago, I still think it's needed to tell the true story of Map Collective. So others have touched on this topic, but once again, I'm going to explain. Altscen deleted Map Collective. As being the 8th member of the channel, I can say that Altscen used many, tactics of manipulation to get people in the channel and many fans of the channel to dislike Zaylance, while collapsing the channel from within. Because he always wanted his whole, group leader thing. So, first, we have a screenshot of him saying he changed the password to Skibbity1, which is what he did change the password to. And that was, on the day of the whole collapse of Map Collective. And Zaylance decided to check how and where the password was changed and discovered it was changed using the browser Opera GX, which Altscen openly used at the time of the Map Collective group chat's deletion. Upon hearing this, he asked Staking if he deleted the channel. Here's some screen recordings of Altscen asking if Staking deleted Map Collective. Not only the fact that Altscen lied about this and was the one who deleted it the whole time, but it is one of the first incidents of this narrative where Altscen wants to start a drama, but he doesn't want to ruin his own rep, so he makes others do it for him. Another thing about that is, Zaylance, after the Map Collective thing, with all the things that he spread, Zaylance was the most hated man in the community. But he was innocent the whole time. Once again, I was a huge friend of Altscen at the time, so I just did whatever he asked me to, so it is partially my fault, but he made me do it. Another incident was the first main GFM Altscen drama, where basically there was already an incident a bit ago where GFM and Angolan didn't really like Altscen, so Altscen purged GFM from every group chat and made us all hate GFM. And then, eventually, Altscen decided it was time to get rid of GFM. So, once again, instead of doing it himself, he decided to get Staking and me to do it. So, as we know what happened, Staking and me did the whole drama against GFM and that. Not only just this, once again, the whole wanting to start drama but making others do his dirty work for him. He had also been calling GFM insults and straight up bullying him for a long time. For example, in one of the private Futso streams, GFM would donate lots of money to be on call and talk to Alt, only for Alt to add him to the call and then mute him and ignore anything he said. Eventually, this would boil over into what happened today. Once again, this isn't me defending what GFM had said at the time we exposed him, or any of the things that had happened in the staking GFM Altscen drama a bit ago. But once again, another example of him using manipulation and not doing drama to get his own hands dirty. So you can't really say Altscen is just, oh, he's innocent, he doesn't want drama. But next, we have to get on to the next thing about me. I never really told this story, but basically, my parents really hate YouTube and they don't want me to do it. They had already found it back a bit ago in like early summer, but now once again they found it in September, which is why I kind of had to quit for 2 weeks because they didn't want me talking to the YouTubers there. So the second I pretty much lost all my stuff, I had to rush to block everybody on Discord and do all that stuff. And Altscen, the second this happened, he switched up on me. I don't know if it was because of the fact the community really hated me at the time because of the whole GFM thing, or it's just because of what he says in these screenshots about me being an attention-seeking, lying, and other stuff, as well as this whole sympathy farming and attention-seeking thing, which is Altscen's favorite big boy word to just throw around in every drama he's been involved in. And he even stated that in his recent video. But basically, when that did happen, you can pause to read the screenshots of the whole situation where he decided to do this. Pretty much everybody was defending me though, so like, W. But then eventually, like around 2 weeks after that, like I was still using YouTube, but I was still scared to go back because I didn't want that to happen again. So I was just decided to check an Altscen stream to see what was happening. And basically, what happened, and Mega and English at the time had told me this is exactly what happened. On Altscen's stream, English and Mega, he basically said, oh yeah, you guys hate Swiss and don't want him to come back, right? And they both agreed, but they actually didn't, because if you remember that clip, you would remember that there was a weird 30 seconds of silence, because that's when he muted the stream and told them to say that. Because once again, when he wanted his opinion to be his way, he needed to make sure all of his fans and friends agreed with him. But him doing that to me was pretty much the last line. And finally, we're back to the whole sexual things. He was 15, I was 12. But my age was pretty easily able to be figured out. I'd started saying 15, but I'd started to move to 13 after a bit, until I would actually reach my real birthday a few months ago. But it was still pretty obvious. My voice is still pretty high right now, and if you go into some really old Altscen streams or English streams, you can still see my voice was like that. Not only this, but from when my parents found my stuff in early summer, there was a picture of me that was circulating around the group chats, and Altscen most likely had seen it. In fact, I'm pretty sure he did see it, as he did say in one group chat he saw it. Finally, Altscen asked me how old I was at one point. So, you see, I was still stuck whether I wanted to just say if I was actually 12 or 13, or if I actually wanted to say if I was 12 or not. I was still stuck with the 13 lie. So I just sent this, which equals 12 and 13. So Altscen knew that I was still multiple years younger than him. It was very obvious. If anything, many people in the group chats had stated before that they thought I was 11. And I think most people think I am 11. But now, time to show you many screenshots and recordings of Altscen saying really really sexual things. But I'm not the only younger person, much younger person than him that he sent that stuff to. There's also a much younger person he's done this to. He sent hardcore country human images to another person who was 12 at the time but have chosen to stay anonymous, as they don't want to be involved in the drama, but they still want it to be known that Altscen is a predator. Altscen knew their age was 12 or 13 and still decided to send this. This is actually illegal in both the UK and USA, as a person under the age of 13 cannot consent to anything sexual, including sexting or sending explicit pictures, such as the previously shown wet dream image, which he still has not deleted from a server where he sent it. What makes that wet dream image even worse is just the fact that that same 12-year-old, both of us were 12 when that was sent in that group chat. Server. That is just like, bro, we cannot be for real. And you can't say, oh, he just faked it. So you're telling me he got up at like 3 a.m., went to his sink, got some water, put it on his bed, took a picture of it, and said wet dreams act PMO. Not only is there the person, which I don't know if I'll put the clip of him, of what Altscen did to him later in the video or in this timestamp, but there are more people. And for example, this person who we're gonna have anonymous, said he was Polish after Altscen asked if he was Italian. And Altscen said, I like Polish boys, they give good head. And then asked him again, do you give good head? It was very known in the server that they were in that this person was 12. Altscen, if he was using this server enough, he would have known how old they were. There's another person I'm gonna leave anonymous, but Altscen said, oh, whoa, Joe. So, and keep in mind that this person that Altscen did this to was openly 11 years old. 11. And then sent this emoji after just to make it even worse for him. And in the same pic of Altscen talking to the same 11-year-old, he said, I know for a fact you have a massive right now. And he didn't really understand what Altscen even meant by that, once again, 11 years old. And then Altscen sends this emoji too, to someone he knew was an 11-year-old. Here's a picture of Satan just sending a picture of a cloud. And then randomly the next day, Altscen sends, can I send a pic of my... knowingly in a server with an 11-year-old and 12-year-old. And still says this anyway. So, I really hope this video shows the disgusting things Altscen has done, from being a predator to the manipulation with the dramas, his lies, and this whole thing. Not only this, but if you're still defending him, I just want you to think about this again. Not only has he switched up on his own friends like me and GFM and pretty much everybody in the group chats after he decided to switch up on me, but he also doesn't even like his own fans. Like, for example, Old Imperium allegedly said that his face was a picture of his face was spammed against many Altscen group chats. I want to take that one with a grain of salt, though, as there's no exact proof, but we do.
Well, I also have a gif of his face on a back tattoo.
Still have his word that happened. And we also have Maxim Ramos, which is still an Altscen fan and even defended Altscen once he dropped his new video, but there's many evidence of Altscen being just very rude to Maxim Ramos for no reason. So, if you're a friend or a fan, why are you still even defending him? Okay, so I'm gonna explain a lot of these clips. So, this first one is really weird, because I was just talking about the death of the Farmers Union in DMs with him, and all of a sudden he says this in me already. Once again, whenever he says something strange, I'm gonna click on his profile, show the mutual stuff, and all that so you know that it's really him. And then he also says yes, bae, after I just ignore it. Once again, pretty weird, but like, this is just like very strange of him to say, especially out of nowhere in DMs. So anyway, now for this next clip, me and Staking were just talking about music, and all of a sudden he just gives a daddy name for everybody in the group chat. I don't know. And then we kind of just ignored him. And then I sent something for my what did I call it? I think, yeah, Soul Nascente series. You saw in episode 2 if you watched it. And all of a sudden he says, send me a picture of your face. I want to polish my scepter. If you don't know what that means, then you should probably just not be watching this. But once again, I just ignored it. Very weird things he's saying. So anyway. So for this next clip, once again, me and English were just talking about internet and how my fridge has internet on it. And all of a sudden, he replies to me saying, I'm gonna stick my in your nose. And this was past when he knew I was either 12 or 13. He knew my age and still said this. Like, what are we doing here, bro? Not appeal. Alright, so in this next clip, this one isn't necessarily sexual harassment, but still pretty weird. Me and English and Staking were just talking about a possible history thumbnail, and all of a sudden, Altscen says this. I don't really think I need to explain this, and I don't really want to say it, what he said in this clip either. This clip, he asked me if I finished making the maps for Egypt Part 2, because this is during the era where I was working on making the Egypt Part 2 video. And I said, well, I should be making it right now. And he said, good. That word. Once again, I'm not going to be reading these things out loud. But like, once again, this was post him saying he knew I was tether 13, and he still said this stuff. There's not even an excuse for this 15 thing. And this clip, randomly, out of nowhere, he says, bro, I love my life. I have a big... Just out of nowhere. So I don't know what I was on about here. And then he said, no, why do I kind of want to send a pic with that emoji? After I was the only one to respond to what he said. That's very, very weird. And once again, just kind of ignored it, which is what I did for most of these. Okay, so once again, randomly, I was just talking to Staking about his old Staking Co's meme series. And all of a sudden, he says, in the take turns, out of nowhere, once again, out of the blue, me and Staking were just talking about this, and he randomly says this. Once again, I just kind of ignored him and sent a spoiler for... Was that Egypt Part 1 or 2? I don't even know. So, this time, I don't know if I had gotten Hoi 4 yet, or if they did, but we were talking about playing Hoi 4, and all of a sudden, he just randomly, out of nowhere, once again, talking about Hoi 4, he randomly says this in my instead. What are we doing here, man? Once again, ignored. And then, even after we ignored him, he still said, Staking said, don't switch up on your day ones, and he said, bro, I'm doing the opposite. I'm having with all my day ones. I'm not the only 12-year-old who are one of his day ones. Once again, I don't think I need to explain why this is a really weird thing to say.
Let's go. Oh, yeah. Oh, King Cheese is a tree. Let's go grope the tree, King Cheese.